So, what's up, cyberspace? Welcome to Pointing Out Politicians. I am your host, and this is where we talk about misinformation given and misstatements made by politicians right in front of your face. In this episode, what I want to talk about is a recent live stream. As a matter of fact, it was today, I believe. That would have been Thursday, November 19th, in which quote unquote President elect Joe Biden and quote unquote Vice President elect Kamala Harris talk to the American people, answer some questions regarding their plans to move forward as President and Vice President of the United States. What stuck out to me was the fact that they used the term President elect and Vice President elect along with this office of President elect as if it had already been established. And the reason I have trouble with that is the fact that Joe Biden contradicts himself while he's in front of the podium, and nobody seems to have caught that. I think it's very important that we pay attention to what politicians say, regardless of what party they're from. And we pay very close attention to what they say, what they don't say, and how they say what it is that they do say. So I'm going to play a short clip, and you'll hear it coming directly from their mouths. And then I'll tell you what I think about it, and I'd love to hear what you think about it, but here it is.
And it is now my great honor to introduce President-elect Joe Biden.
The Vice President-elect and I, as this was pointed out, but until the head of the GSA says that we, in fact, our team, this transition team, our team, the senator and I, have in fact are the likely winners. Until she does that, we don't have access to all the information that we need to get from all the various agencies.
Okay, so let me explain to you why this is very important that we listen to what's being said and how they're saying it. She refers to him as President-elect Joe Biden, and he refers to her as Vice President-elect. Behind him, you see a symbol. It's a lot like the presidential seal, where it says Office of the President-elect. Now, let's address the seal part first. And this is why I have a problem with this, and this is why I think it is disingenuous, and it plays on the hearts and emotions of the American people. One, there were a lot of people who mentioned Office of President-elect. They claimed that Donald Trump used that title or that office. They claimed that Barack Obama used it. I looked at some photos, Reuters.com. I'll put a link in the description. But in the photo, they had one photo of Barack Obama, and that's what was on a picture at the front of the podium. What's interesting about that is it's a replica of the presidential seal as well. But me being the kind of person, I'm heavy into photography, I'm heavy into graphic design, digital art. The first thing that stuck out to me on that photo was that the vanishing point doesn't match up. As things get further away from you, they tend to narrow and eventually vanish. That's why we call it the vanishing point. But if you look at that podium, what you see is a podium at an angle, and signage on the podium appears to be head on. Also, the resolution doesn't match between the photo and the rest of, or that placard and the rest of the photo. I just thought that was interesting. Maybe it's my eyesight. Maybe I'm seeing things differently. Maybe I'm seeing something that's not there. But there is a photo of it there, and you can kind of make that judgment for yourself. Then there's another photo of Donald Trump with a placard on there that says Office of the President-elect. But if you notice, the symbol on that picture is not the presidential seal. Doesn't even look like the presidential seal. In fact, it looks more like a picture of or silhouette of the White House. So it wasn't made to look official, as if he was already in the office of the President of the United States. So this is obviously something that's made to look misleading, to look official, when there is actually no official office of the President-elect. So that's point number one. I think that's it's doing us an injustice. Regardless of what side of the political spectrum you are on, or if you take no side at all, I believe that what we all deserve is the truth. I believe that effective communication is clear and concise. It shouldn't be up for debate, and it shouldn't be a case of someone trying to impose their position or their thoughts on you. We should stick to the facts, which takes me to my next point. What we had there was two statements made, two references made, one by her to him and one by him referring to her. Both were inaccurate. And the inaccuracy was proven seconds later when Joe Biden mentioned the fact that he couldn't gain access to certain information because the head of the office of the GSA had not ascertained that he was the president-elect. So let's break that down a little bit. What does that mean? She had not ascertained that he was the president-elect. We should know, as American citizens, it's important for us to know that one is not deemed the president-elect until the GSA ascertains that there's enough reason or beyond a reasonable doubt that the election's been won, and that person should be given the title of president-elect or vice president-elect, whichever one you're referring to. Why hasn't that been done? Well, the reason that hasn't been done is because there's still a lot of legal issues that need to be rectified before he can be certified as president-elect. Now, whether or not that's going to happen, or whether or not, whether it is going to happen or whether it's not going to happen, I don't know. I don't know the future. But what I do know is the fact is that it hasn't been done up until this point. And I think it's misleading to the American people to operate under the assumption that it had. Especially when you look at it, and he himself says right there that the necessary actions for him to become the president-elect have not taken place. So that's my take on that. There's some other things that happened in this live stream, this video. I'm going to get into that in a different video. I don't want this one to be too long. I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes. So I keep it at those 2 points right there, those couple points right there. He's not the president-elect yet. AP doesn't certify that. The news doesn't certify that. This has to happen through the proper channels. He's out of order, and she's out of order for speaking to us as if that had already taken place. So that definitely needs to be pointed out. We need to do things right, regardless of what party we are. We're Democrat, whether we're Republicans, whether we're independents. There are a set of rules, regulations in place, and we need to follow them. Let me know what you think in the comment section. All right, see you on the next video. Take care.